Yeah, well, we
no, a picture with the top 10 coaches in the NFL. This was at Sean J. Wagner. Do you want me to list them off?
Yeah, you list them off, man. He's a CBS Sports analyst.
Yeah, this was according to him. Number 1, Belichick. Number 2, Reid. Number 3, Harbaugh. Number 4, Sean Payton. Number 5, Kyle Shanahan. Number 6, Sean McVay. Number 7, Mike Tomlin. Number 8, Pete Carroll. Number 9, Doug Peterson. Number 10, Mike Zimmer. So those are his top 10. I think there are some flaws in this top 10.
I was about to ask you, man, what was your thoughts on that, man?
There's definitely some flaws. Do you want me just to list my top 10?
First off, let's talk who your flaws were. Or like, what was your biggest issues?
Tomlin's too low.
Okay.
McVay shouldn't, or not McVay, Shanahan shouldn't even be on the list.
Okay.
And yeah, Zimmer's at 10. I mean, yeah, he's probably on the bubble if you're, in my opinion. He's not on my top 10 though either.
Fair enough.
So those are the 3 mistakes in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're pretty similar, man.
Whoa.
I agree, man. I wasn't a fan of Zimmer being up there. I think McVay is definitely too high, and I think Shanahan is. I think Shanahan and McVay are too high.
You said McVay is too high?
Yeah, I think both of them are too high.
McVay might be a spot too high. I think I have him in that range.
Yeah.
But wait, do you have Shanahan still on your list?
Well, we could get to that. I just said he's too high.
So you don't disagree with Tomlin, though?
I haven't gotten to Tomlin yet.
No, but I know you just listed off the things you disagree with.
No, like in terms of like the big egregious things, everything else. I mean, if it's like,
okay, Tomlin's not too far off for you then?
If it's just like you down a couple of spots, that's not big to me.
Okay, okay, this could be interesting. Yeah. Do you want to list off your top 10?
Yeah, man, you go first.
Me first? Yeah. Hold on, let me pull it up because I sent my list to myself here on the on the Gmail.
My list to myself.
All right, here we go. So obviously, number 1 is Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Reid.
Okay.
3 is Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Number 4 is Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Jim Harbaugh. 6, Sean Payton. 7, Doug Peterson. 8, Sean McVay. 9.
This is funny, bro.
Mike McCarthy. And number 10, Bruce Arians.
All right.
Just spitting facts out here.
Okay. All right. So for me, I went Belichick at 1. I got Andy Reid at 2, went John Harbaugh at 3, Sean Payton at 4, Coach T at 5, Pete Carroll at 6, Sean McVay at 7, Doug Peterson at 8, Sean McDermott at 9, and then Kyle Shanahan at 10. Yes, indeed.
All right, where do we want to start? Well, who'd you have at your 3?
So at 3, I had Harbaugh. You had Coach T there, right?
I have Tomlin. Who's your 4?
My 4 was Payton, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton over Tomlin, too.
Yeah, who was your 4?
So I have Pete Carroll.
Okay.
I have Pete Carroll at 4. So I guess I got Mike Tomlin here versus, Harbaugh. Because I have him over all 3 of those, Harbaugh, Payton, and Carroll.
So literally, our 3 through 6 are the same, just different orders.
Yeah.
Because it's still Harbaugh, Payton, Coach T, and Pete Carroll.
So I guess, for me, the main thing is Tomlin being 3.
Okay.
So and you have, like you were saying, Harbaugh and Payton over Tomlin. So I guess I got to make the case for Tomlin over Harbaugh and Payton.
And I'll do the opposite. Yeah. So let's go.
Dude, starting off, Tomlin's regular season winning percentage is better. He's got a 642 versus Harbaugh. He's at 615. Sean Payton at 630.
Okay.
Similar playoff records. Tomlin's at 8-7. Harbaugh's is a little better at 10-7, and then Sean Payton at 8-7. So you give the nod to Harbaugh there, but like I said with Tomlin, 642 winning percentage in the regular season. Tomlin over Harbaugh has 2 Super Bowl appearances. Both have 1 Super Bowl win. And Tomlin has no losing season.
Correct.
And I think last year, that was impressive, dude. Harbaugh does have a bad losing season on his list. And I think last year could have been an excuse for Tomlin to have a bad losing season.
Fair
especially
enough.
After starting 1-4. We end up finishing 8-8 with Duck and Mason as our as our quarterbacks there. So, that's why I have him over Harbaugh. He has the extra Super Bowl appearance. Obviously, the playoff record is a little bit worse, but Harbaugh does have 1 losing season that was pretty bad. He has a couple 8-8s as well, just kind of like Tomlin. And then Tomlin versus Payton, I think it's kind of like the same reason for Harbaugh, and that's why I have Payton under Harbaugh. Okay. He has a few more losing seasons. He has 4 7-9 records.
Yeah, he had 3 losing seasons back to back.
Only 1 Super Bowl appearance for Payton, and he won that one. Yeah. And 8-7 record, just like Tomlin. Tomlin has the better regular season record, though.
But literally only like 2 wins.
Huh?
It's like Tomlin is 133 games, and I think Payton is 131 games.
I got 642 winning percentage versus 630 winning percentage for Payton.
I looked at total wins. I think the difference was Payton had the 1 year he was suspended. He missed the season.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, like they're
like I said, I just got percentages though on the Pro Football Reference. So yeah, you might be right on the total wins, but maybe Peyton has an extra season over Tomlin.
Yeah. Because he does. And remember, like I said, he got suspended though because of the whole bounty thing.
Yeah. So that's why I have Tomlin over those two. And
Coach T is 133 and 74. Sean Payton 131 and 77. Yep.
So yeah, and I guess you can make the argument for Tomlin versus Harbaugh that, we were talking about this last podcast. Mm-hmm. Tomlin has had Big Ben as his quarterback, but at the same time, I think our defense outside of last year, maybe the past 2 years, over a 4 or 5 year stretch where Ben was in his prime, was definitely lackluster, whereas Harbaugh's defense has been elite. I don't know how much you want to chalk that up to GM making the draft picks versus,
now it's hard to say that
Harbaugh coaching the players.
Defenses, man, under Coach Tomlin.
No. I'm talking about like the 2012 to maybe 15, 16 stretch.
True, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's, I don't know. I think Harbaugh having a good defense and then having Flacco, who is always been a top 20 confident quarterback out there, you would take Flacco over Mason and Duck any day of the week. And Tomlin was still able to get us to 8-8.
I'm just simply saying Flacco and Ben, are they in the same conversation?
They are not, but I'm just saying having a good defense helps. Having a really good defense helps.
My thing is this. You said that you view Ben as a number one quarterback in the league for how many years now?
Oh, wow. Ever since he came in as a rookie.
Have you ever viewed Flacco in the top 5?
No, I mean, obviously the Super Bowl run, people were, is Flacco elite? Is he in the top 5? I never really bought into that, but during that 2 or 3 year stretch, I would probably take him top 10 though.
Okay.
Top 10, top 12.
10 versus a guy that you said you view as the number one quarterback.
Having a great defense helps though, dude. Having a great defense.
The number one quarterback in the league is what you said.
Yeah, dude, but come on.
Come on, that's what? It is not like Coach Tomlin through his 13 seasons. He had 13 years of terrible defense.
I don't think you believe that. You're just using my words against me here.
I'm just going off what you told me.
I know I'm telling you that, but I don't think you believe that. Though.
I view Ben as a top 5 or at worst top 7 quarterback throughout his career. Mm-hmm. So it might have been only 1 year where I viewed Flacco inside the top 10, and that would have been the year where he won it all, and he's an elite quarterback and all this other stuff. Other than that, it has never been close to me in terms of quarterback play.
Not right.
And there have been times where they've went head to head, and John Harbaugh has beat Coach Tomlin with Ryan Mallett as a starting quarterback. We can't say the same when Coach Tomlin had Mason or Duck starting at the quarterback
The other
spot.
thing I will say, though, with Tomlin, he's gotten a bad rap for the playoffs from that 2014 to 2018, 2017 stretch. It was like 4 years in a row. Mm-hmm. He's gotten a bad rap for that. Dude, we had a lot of injuries in all those playoffs.
Absolutely. Every run.
A lot of injuries, like key injuries. It's not like we were going up to New England with Kobe Hamilton as our second receiver.
And Le'Veon got hurt the opening series.
And Le'Veon got hurt.
Yeah.
We're going out to Denver against supposed the best defense in the past 5 years.
No Le'Veon, no AB.
No AB. Ben on one arm.
Stop it. I'm not.
Ben on one arm.
Stop it. Don't do that.
And so all those injuries, and then what's his face? Toussaint fumble. So dude, there's been I guess the one knock you could say is that Jaguars game.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
That was because that was bad. That was our best team. But whenever I was lamenting that to you way back when we first started, you brought up the point that our key linebacker Ryan Shazier got hurt.
Done. Yeah, that changed everything. That's the equivalent of losing your quarterback.
So we've had a lot of tough breaks in the playoffs. So, I mean, what can you do? Not having a losing season, always being in the mix. Yeah. Like I said, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. I think that, for the most part, that's better across the board than Harbaugh and Peyton outside of Harbaugh's 10-7 playoff record. Okay. So I'm taking Tomlin, dude.
So for me, the reason why I go Harbaugh and Peyton over Coach T, there's a mix of, number one, the tenure element of it, right? You have to respect what they've done throughout their whole career, which is why we bring up with Coach Tomlin 13 seasons, no losing season. That's huge. That's the full body of work element of it. We also go off the recency stuff as well, right? So we know from a recency standpoint, in particular, you're praising Coach Tomlin for 8-8 season. I personally don't, because in the NFL, everybody has injuries. Everybody deals with, key
That's
injuries.
An extreme one.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback as well.
That backup's better than ours, though.
That's debatable to some people. All I'm saying is at times, well, it shouldn't be debatable, but either way, it's a backup. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a backup. So for me, I don't ever view that as an excuse. And I told you, even when they were sitting at 8-5, remember what I said? They should win 10 wins. Yeah, they should be in the playoffs.
We did fall off. That was bad.
So for me, I'm not going to praise him for 8-8 season when it ended the way it ended. I just can't do that. But for me, the reason why I have Harbaugh and Peyton above him, because number one, we talk tenure. Harbaugh 12 seasons. He only has one losing season. But the caveat is he has the better winning record. I mean, the better playoff record. And the two things that stand out for me the most with Harbaugh, number one, he had the number one team in the league last year, 14 wins, the 1 seed. That's a huge boost for me. I like that. But then I take it the year beforehand, which is what I'm more impressed by, because he took a team that had Joe Flacco starting for the midway point of the season and ultimately flipped everything, made Lamar the starter. Remember, the roster didn't even fit Lamar. And people were like, yo, how they're winning games. This is crazy. It's ugly. Like, I don't even understand it. People forget about that. And then they want to use that as a knock on him. Oh, they haven't won a playoff game in the past couple of years. That would have been what he did with Lamar Jackson and led them to the playoffs, would have been the equivalent of if Coach T would have led Mason or Duck. No, wait a minute. If Coach T would have led Duck to the playoffs this year and we got beat in the first round, would you have said that was a negative or a positive? Way. I'm asking a question. Would that be a negative or a positive? Yes or no?
That's easier for Harbaugh to take Lamar Jackson.
Stop it. What? Lamar Jackson wasn't throwing the ball. You think about Lamar this year. Lamar his first year starting, bro. He threw the ball 6 times in a game.
Dude, we were talking about having Kaepernick come off the streets and play for us.
Stop it, bro.
You can't tell me Lamar Jackson isn't better than that.
The Steelers were 8-5 with Duck and Mason. Stop playing, man.
It would have been better if we had rookie Lamar Jackson. How wouldn't have been?
Stop it.
He could have made all those throws that they made with the running ability.
So would it have been a knock for Coach Tomlin if he would have made it to the playoffs this year and got beat in the first round?
No, it wouldn't have been a knock.
So why? I don't think anyone's
a knock on Harbaugh. No one's knocking that. No, that absolutely. First on Harbaugh, we're knocking his recent one for Harbaugh, sure.
They say, man, the past 3 years, they haven't won a playoff game.
No one actually thought they were going to win that season,
bro. People still use it as a knock on him. How many times have you heard people say Lamar can't win in the playoffs? You think they said that because of one game?
That's Lamar.
You think they said that because of one
Lamar,
game?
Not the coach, though.
But are they saying that because of one game, or are they still going back to last year as well, saying those 2 games?
Yeah, that's Lamar, though.
It's still,
as a Ravens team, there was no way they were going to win.
Bro,
that year. Who'd they lose to? The Chargers.
They lost to the Chargers. Yeah. They had beat the Chargers a couple weeks prior to that and then lost to them. So why is it that for Harbaugh, that's fine, right? You're saying that's fine, but when we talk Lamar Jackson, you brought it up the other day. He has to win in the playoffs. He hasn't won in the playoffs.
That's different for a quarterback.
Why?
Because the coach is
the quarterback.
The coach is overseeing the whole team.
Exactly. So
the quarterback has their specific responsibilities, and Lamar didn't live up to his responsibilities in those 2 playoff games.
Stop it, bro.
He didn't, dude. He didn't.
Stop
as
it,
a team, I'm not going to hold
it.
As the most recent one. Yes, I am going to hold against Harbaugh.
Playoffs and team winning percentages count for coaches, not for an individual. If that's the case, you've already said it before.
Dude, he played bad in those playoff games though, as an individual.
So
Lamar Jackson
total yards off is bad. You're right,
dude. They let him get those yards.
500 total yards is bad.
I'm not going to knock him completely because I remember.
So they weren't letting Duck get stuff off as well. I never saw him get 500 total yards in a game.
Oh, dude, we're comparing Lamar to Duck. We're talking about Lamar being the top quarterback in the league. He's not there yet. That's all I'm saying.
You were talking about Duck is better than this guy. Duck is better than that guy.
I was foolish, dude.
I don't care. You still said it.
I was foolish. You can't hold that against me, man. That was foolish. We're talking right now.
Stop that, bro.
We're talking right now.
So that's why for me, I have Harbaugh above Coach Tomlin in that regard. And then when I think back, and I'm just looking over the recency standpoint, the past 3 seasons, Coach Tomlin's only been to the playoffs 1 time. And then the one time they went was the upset loss to the Jaguars, where we were the number 2 seed. Jacksonville came here division round and beat us. So I hold that against Coach T. That's a loss. That's not good. And then when we talk Sean Payton, okay, regular season rate, shoot, they're pretty much identical. Regular season and when you talk playoffs is pretty similar. Obviously, Coach Tomlin has the extra appearance, but they both have 1 Super Bowl championship. But from a recency standpoint, you look at Sean Payton, just 2 years ago, they were in the NFC Championship game. They've been to 3 playoff appearances in the past 3 years as well. And for full body work, he has a coach of the year where Coach Tomlin doesn't. And also John Harbaugh has a coach of the year where Coach Tomlin doesn't.
Come on.
Exactly. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Whatever. I don't really. I mean, I'm sure Tomlin should have won one or two of those years.
The same. He should have got an MVP as well.
He won. He won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 43. I think that year.
Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl as well. He didn't get an MVP. He didn't get a Coach of the Year.
I mean, I think Tomlin probably should have won. I don't know what year did Harbaugh win it. He probably won it that year. That was it 2008.
Was it? I think it was. I got to check.
It was 2008. Yeah. That's the year we won the Super Bowl. So he could take the Coach of the Year. Tomlin will take the Super Bowl. I think he'll gladly take the Super Bowl.
That's why Andy Reid got a Super Bowl. He didn't get a Coach of the Year either. What's going on, man?
That's why he's number 2. I don't really. It's whatever, man.
Oh, nah, it's whatever. Okay,
it is.
Just throwing it out there. Bro.
It is whatever, dude.
Okay. All right.
Andy Reid's we both agree he's number 2. So that just goes to show how much we're really valuing those Coach of the Years, dude.
No, because his body of work is so much better. When you look at 7 years in Kansas City,
all it took was last year's Super Bowl, though. I'd probably have him under Tomlin. If it weren't for last year's Super Bowl, he didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't get it done.
Bro, I look at it like this, man. This man then went to 2 FC Championship games back to back. Went to the Super Bowl and actually won the Super Bowl. But in the past 7 seasons, he's only been in Kansas City 7 years. His lowest year where they didn't have a lot of wins was 9. That's the lowest win total he's had since being in Kansas City. And that includes Alex Smith, because people will say, well, he's had Mahomes. He's only had Mahomes for what? Going on 3 seasons now? So that's a ton of winning for Andy Reid in Kansas City, where we talked about how their defense has been abysmal for a long time. They've dealt with the injuries. We saw
they were good. They were good with Alex Smith. They were good with Alex Smith.
Not about to sit here and do that. No, they were. Bro, they could rush the passer. That was it. They had Tom Bahali and they had Justin Houston.
Eric Berry back there, dude.
Eric Berry was dealing with cancer. He was hurt in and out of the lineup. We already talked about that.
They had good stretches of being a good defense.
No, bro. Cut it out,
man. They were, man.
Cut it out, bro.
They were.
Cut it out.
Dude, whenever we play, I swear to God, they were a decent defense whenever we went on the road against them.
No, the 1 year we went on the road, we had Landry starting at quarterback. That's the year we lost. That would have been...
No. I'm talking about in the playoffs.
Okay, and in the playoffs...
They had a decent defense with Smith. That's the only reason they were winning.
No, Alex Smith was playing good. What are you talking about?
He was okay. He was a good game manager. He did what he had to do.
God.
They had a decent defense, man.
You are funny, bro.
Nah, but my thing is you just got to have the hardware to be in that top 3 like that. And Reid didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. I would have had Tomlin at 2 at this point. But Reid got the ship last year, and I'm bumping him up to 2. He's a lock at 2 after that ship.
No, I'm with you on that. His body of work speaks for itself. And I'm only counting Kansas City. I'm not even getting to what he did in Philly.
Yeah, he had a good run with Philly, too.
Yeah, but you talk about the ship and all that other stuff. The 2 coaches that I have ahead of Coach Tomlin in terms of Harbaugh and Payton, they have that as well. And they have a Coach of the Year award to go along with it.
All 3 got a ship. Yeah. Tomlin's got an extra Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, but
not one losing season.
It still was a loss.
Yeah, I know, but not one losing season.
And who's been to the playoffs more in the past 3 years?
And just better winning percentage.
In the past 3 years, who's been to the playoffs more?
I don't know how much. I mean, come on. Are we really going to?
Yes, we are doing that. Yes.
I don't know, dude. Especially with last year. I'm not really going to hold that against them.
I said, if we're going to praise Lamar.
We went 9-6-1, and that was not on Tomlin. Now I'm more even thinking these 2 years we missed the playoffs.
Whatever, bro.
The 9-6-1 year was not on Tomlin. That was not on Tomlin.
Is he not the coach?
Boswell and fumbles.
So my question is this: what is the coach responsible then if you don't count all playoff games?
Players got to play.
Regular games. Like what is the coach? What's the purpose of the coach?
Players got to play, man.
Stop that, man. You put more weight on a quarterback's record versus a head coach's record. That doesn't make sense at all.
I'm not saying that.
Yes, you did that with Harbaugh when we said Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson.
Lamar didn't play good, though. He could have lost and played good.
Oh, my gosh. You are crazy, son.
How?
You're crazy.
How?
Because
he lost and played bad. Mahomes lost and played good in the AFC Championship versus the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I'm not holding that against him. He played really good. He had some clutch moments there.
And Lamar played like trash this year. That's what you're telling me.
Dude, they let him get all those yards for a reason, dude.
I don't know what game you were watching, bro.
You could watch it again. Why does he have a 28 QBR and a 63 rating?
Watch it again.
They let him get all those yards. And I'm not... Dude, because we talked about this as soon as the game was over the next day. I'm not holding it completely against him. There were some drops there, here and there, but there was a reason they were letting him run the ball and get all those yards to run out the clock. It didn't equate to winning.
Whatever you say, man.
That's all.
That doesn't equate to playing bad. 500 yards total offense does not ever equate to playing bad. That's all I'm saying, bro.
It just makes you quiet. I want to see it. I want to see him do it in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you say it plural though, as if you're not counting.
This is him being definitive, like top 3, top 5 quarterback. That's what we're talking about. And we're not talking about him being a top 20, top 25 quarterback going up against some like backup quarterback. Okay. This is like elite tier stuff. We got to see it. We got to see him do it.
Year of that opportunity.
I know. We got to see him do it.
When you say playoffs, you speak of it plural because you count that first game versus the Chargers last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
Bro, but the offense wasn't set up for him to be successful. We talked about how that whole team was not constructed for Lamar Jackson. It was built for Joe Flacco.
He got way better in the second year, though. Way better.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is if he was able to lead that team to the playoffs that first year where it was not built for him at all, he took over mid-season. Remember, Flacco wasn't even sitting next to him trying to help him at all. And Harbaugh was the one constructing that. Harbaugh was the one operating that. That's a plus for both of them.
It's a plus for Harbaugh.
Bro, so early you said it wasn't a plus for Harbaugh. Early you said it was a plus for Lamar, not for Harbaugh.
No.
Which one is it, man?
No, I said it's not a knock. Not a knock.
So for me, that's a plus because he did it and Coach Tomlin couldn't do it this past season with Mason or Duck.
Yeah, but this goes back to the whole thing I was saying. That's a way better scenario for Harbaugh than Tomlin. Dude, rookie Lamar is 500 times better than Mason or Duck. I just would take him over either of those two. He could have made
that now. You weren't saying that.
He could have made all the throws they made, but then we also have the running ability. Okay. We would have been begging for that, bro. We could have been running out the clock with our defense like no other.
If Lamar can make all these throws, why weren't they throwing the ball with Lamar? Why was the whole narrative on Lamar was he's a running back?
Wait, you don't think he could have made the throws Mason made, the dink and dunks?
His first year, he was not throwing the ball because he could not throw. That's where everybody kept saying the same thing. He is a running back at quarterback, bro. Everyone said that. He is a run. And then what was the whole narrative this year? Not bad for a running back. Not bad for a running back. Not bad for I
don't even care. The running ability alone is 500 times better than what Mason and Duck was at this year quarterback. 500 times better. We could have been running out the clock and killing it with our defense.
Okay.
Just sustaining drives. I don't care how many touchdowns we're scoring. We would have made the playoffs for sure.
Okay.
If we had rookie Lamar over Mason or Duck, easily.
Like you said, you saying it now. That's cool.
No way, dude.
That's cool, bro.
Dude, because I am saying it now because we had these 2 seasons. I'm looking back, and
but if you ain't say it when it really happened, then I don't want to hear it.
What Lamar? If Lamar, dude,
stop the defense. Bro. I don't want to hear that.
Our defense wasn't as good.
I don't care, bro. That's hindsight 2020. I don't care about that. What were you saying when it happened?
When Lamar was in the playoffs,
his rookie year, you were not giving Lamar praise.
This is a whole different situation. Putting him in the Steelers system from last year.
Oh my, bro, it's totally different. We're not talking about that. We're talking about.
We are. That's what
his rookie year in that system.
Because we're comparing the coaches,
bro.
So we are doing that a little bit, yes. Because we're comparing the coaches. Yeah,
no, we're not.
Yeah, dude.
So is the offense that the Steelers run built for Lamar Jackson, or is it built for Mason Rudolph?
We would have made it work with Lamar, dude.
And it's the same offense that would have worked because remember we talked about how Randy Fichtner plenty of times people were saying, "Oh, he's the worst offensive coordinator in history," so he was going to come up with something for Lamar as well, right? Since we're talking coaches, that we got to go.
I never said this stuff. I don't say this stuff.
The offensive coordinator ain't changed. It's the exact.
I don't say Fichtner's bad.
It's a lot of people that do.
I know. I never said that though.
It's a lot of people that do.
I think if you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback, you're an idiot to not change your system and try to figure out ways to be successful. I don't see how we wouldn't have been able to do that. A rookie Lamar Jackson, yes. Okay.
All right.
That was a fun debate. Wait, so is there any? I have Carroll a little higher than you.
Yeah.
Where do you have him at?
I had him at 6.
You have him at 6?
Because literally those 3, I felt like 3 through 6 for me, Harbaugh, Peyton, Coach T, and Pete Carroll could have all moved around. Any of them I could debate to
with
have higher
Carroll, is it just the Lynch play? Is that what we're knocking him for?
No, that's a huge thing. But also, I view Pete Carroll
because
I'm still, still like with Pete Carroll, I still have that 50-50 Mike McCarthy feeling in terms of how great of a coach are they versus they've had Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers doing just insane things. Because from a roster standpoint, I mean, if we look at the Seahawks roster, we don't feel as if they have a top 10 roster right now. We don't feel like it's been like that for the past couple of years.
I think now for sure.
But with Russell, you think they're a top 10 roster right now?
Yeah, we talked about this. I put him in my top 10.
You're right. Yeah, we differ a lot. But for me, that's the big knock on Carroll right now. And it's like I said, similar to Mike McCarthy, but I think Pete is still way better than McCarthy. That's why Pete's on the list and McCarthy is not.
Okay, so yeah, I guess. All right, I understand that. I just think, dude, if you look at the numbers, they're all there, and I think the knock, more or less, in my opinion, is just that play, the Super Bowl.
That does.
But 2 Super Bowl appearances, I mean, they've been pretty money the past 6-7 years, and the question is, if you want to make the argument for it being, is it Russell Wilson or not?
Okay.
Then you can make that. We don't know, though, because we could say the same thing with a bunch of other coaches out here.
You could say it with Coach T. You could say it with Peyton.
You could say it with Belichick, though, with Brady. You could say it with any coach. Well, so that's a hard one.
No, the reason why you can't say it with Belichick is he went 11-5 with Matt Castle. And then he also went 5-0 with the combination of Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett. So for me, that's why I don't say that necessarily with Belichick.
It is small sample. I do agree with you on that. I think Belichick, I thought he would have done fine with Stidham this year. I think they would have at least won 8 wins this year. So it's small sample, but yeah, I guess we get the point. So that's a tough thing to argue, but I think at the end of the day, I think most would get that, would understand it. I'm just not going to completely go there with it. I just think he's solid. He's always has Seattle in contention.
No,
you could say it's Russell Wilson or not, but like the numbers speak for themselves.
I mean, which coach do you want to put him in front of? Sean Payton, Harbaugh, Coach Tomlin?
I'm putting him in front of Harbaugh and Payton. Just winning percentage. I think they have. It just feels like they're always in the mix a little bit more than those other two teams. Even though probably as of more of late, you got the Saints a little bit more, but like Carroll spans more out to like 6-7 years. We're legitimate contenders. Like both teams are, but I think Carroll's just spans a little bit longer. So that's why I got to give him the nod over Peyton. And he's got the extra Super Bowl appearance. Now, like I said, I think people want to knock him for the whole play that happened. Yeah. But for him to be coaching the Patriots like that and, toe to toe and then bring him back like that, I'm not going to completely hold that against him.
Fair enough.
So, all right. So I got Carroll at 4, 5, 6, Harbaugh, Peyton, and then Peterson at 7. Where do you have Peterson?
I had Peterson at 8.
Okay. Who do you have at 7?
McVay.
Okay, so we just got those flip-flopped.
And then you had
McCarthy, I don't know. I think that's probably just personal preference there. We could more or less get into 9 and 10 here because we have a big disparaging I guess difference here. So I got McCarthy at 9. You've who do you have 9? You've McDermott at 9. Who do you have at 10?
I got Shanahan at 10. Kyle Shanahan. And you don't have him on your list, correct?
I don't. I've had enough of him, dude. And then Bruce Arians I have at 10.
Okay.
McCarthy, I just got to go off what he's done, dude. Same thing with Carroll. 618 regular season winning percentage. He's 10-6 in the playoffs, and he's got a Super Bowl. Not any of the other coaches can say they have a Super Bowl outside of John Gruden, who I was thinking about putting in here. I just couldn't defend that, dude. I was looking at his regular season percentage. He has a lot, probably about 3 or 4 bad seasons thrown in there. Okay. A few 7-9. It's just the regular season percentage is there, and you talk about recency. Yeah. I need to see it. I need to see him at least get the Raiders back in the playoffs, back in the mix for him to be considered in the top 10 again. So, McCarthy's got the ring, dude. So I'm putting him up there.
Yeah, like I said, man, I understand you can say he has the ring.
I'm not a fan of McCarthy either. I'm really not. I'm really not.
But what year was that when he won the ring? That was 10, right?
Back in 2010,
That's 10 years ago. I'm not falling for that. I'm sorry. I just can't.
But how is it a knock for a coach to have experience or for him to do something a while back? Don't you get smarter or wiser as time goes by?
You would hope that, but you saw he got fired, so clearly that wasn't always the case. See how Aaron Rodgers speaks of him, so that's not always the case.
Could we say there are reports that Rodgers is tough to deal with?
I don't care.
There are reports about that.
I don't care.
So I know we could say Rodgers is the reason he won, or he's the reason he's doing good.
We're going to find out with McCarthy this year.
But he could have been the reason for McCarthy's demise as well.
We'll find out right now in Dallas.
I'm going to side with Rodgers for sure.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to side with Rodgers there. So
that's why for me, I don't have McCarthy up here because from a recency standpoint, last time he was at the helm, it was not good. So when I think of a guy like Sean McDermott, who you saw when he took over in Buffalo, historically with Buffalo, it was the joke. Who's the worst franchise, the Bills or the Browns? Difference is McDermott has led this team in the past 3 years, 2 playoff appearances, only 1 losing season during those 3 years, whereas he's had way less talent, way less fanfare, and he's had to do it in a division that included the best team with the best coach, with the best player, and all these other things. So for me, that's why I have McDermott at 9. And the reason why I have Shanahan at 10 is because, and it took a lot for me to put him up here. This is more the recency element of it, though, because he was just in the Super Bowl. But those first 2 years from Shanahan were terrible. I don't care about the injuries at quarterback because
they were bad.
Yeah, but for me, the same way I don't care about what Coach Tomlin had to deal with this past season at quarterback, I don't care about Kyle Shanahan and what he had to deal with at quarterback his first 2 years. When you had Garoppolo, okay, great. You went to a Super Bowl. You had a great season. I mean, you were killing and all this other stuff. But with Kyle, I think going forward, he can still be successful. In fact, I'm more confident in Shanahan being successful than I am in McVay being successful because Shanahan is more well-rounded in terms of his coaching style, whereas McVay is very heavy on the offensive element of it. But we've seen now it's caught up to him. We've seen that style that he uses in terms of getting the guys.
You're not big on the Rams this year, huh?
I never were.
I'm
not a Jared Goff guy though. That's the whole thought process. And we saw last year with the Mason-led team. You remember you talked bad about Mason and all this other stuff. Mason did lead his team to beat the Los Angeles Rams with McVay, Goff, Gurley, and all these other guys. So for me, it is what it is.
Dude, so I got Arians, man, and that's kind of why I knocked Shanahan those first 2 years. I mean, he has one really awesome year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Arians is low-key underrated here, man. Dude, he has... All right, hold on. Look. 587
I should
winning
have just known because it's the Steeler thing.
Nope, it's not, dude. It's not.
It's the Brady thing. You're right. I got
It's not. 587 winning percentage. And it's actually higher because they didn't count his 9-3 year with the Colts whenever he stepped in for Pagano.
Okay.
Luck as a rookie. So it's actually over 600 winning percentage.
Okay.
1-2 in the playoffs, so nothing crazy. But we have last year where he had Jameis throwing 30 picks. Still went 7-9. His years in Carolina, he basically revitalized Carson Palmer's career. Had some awesome teams there, but then also had to deal with Cardinals.
I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
It started with a C. I just botched it up. But anyway, with the Cardinals, he revitalized Carson Palmer's career. And then he also did have to deal with a bunch of injuries, a bunch of Lindleys, Finley, Stans, a bunch of backup quarterbacks.
I don't care.
But they were still going 8-8 and 7-9. So he has the regular season winning percentage record over 600. He has a little bit of longevity. I know it's really only 5.5 seasons. So he has that over Shanahan where it's a little bit bigger body of work. And if you want to talk, I'm not going to use this as the hammer, like, this is definitive as to why he's over Shanahan. But I'll just throw it out there. 2 coach of the years. So yeah, I'm going with Arians.
What years did he win those anyways?
Huh?
What year were those that he won coach of the year?
The one was with the Colts,
and then
when he stepped in,
Cardinals. Right?
It was one of the middle Cardinals years, like 14 or 15. So yeah, that's why I'm taking Arians. I ain't
against it, man.
We talk about recency. I think 7-9 with 30 picks last year with Jameis. I think he's going to prove this year with Tom Brady that they're going to be a 12-win, 11-win team.
We will see.
So yeah, dude, I think he's underrated a little bit, man. He's got the longevity, he's got the winning percentage.
We'll see.
Dude, Arians at 10, why not?
All right, we'll see. For me personally, I would have took Vrabel over him, but that's for another debate, man.
No. Oh, you just want to do that to me. No, you just want to do.
Just throw it out there.
Come on, dude. Get that out of here. No, get that out of here.
You said Mike Zimmer as well. I'll take Zimmer over him too. What?
No, come on. On the cutting room floor, I had like Zimmer, McDermott, John Gruden. Oh, obviously Shanahan. Shanahan was he's in the mix there too. They just didn't make the top 10.
Fair enough.
Unfortunate for them.
I like it. So just one quick recap. I went Belichick at 1, Andy Reid at 2, Harbaugh at 3, Sean Payton at 4, Coach T at 5, Pete Carroll at 6, Sean McVay at 7, Doug Peterson at 8, Sean McDermott at 9, and then Kyle Shanahan at 10. And you went
Belichick, Reid, Tomlin, Pete Carroll, John Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Doug Peterson, Sean McVay, Mike McCarthy, Bruce Arians.